And today's topic that I brought with me is the topic of conscious spending. And I would love to ask you the question, and even more love your answers and thoughts around the question: how do you differ between a purchase and an invest? What makes the difference to you?
Wow, Jana, interesting, very interesting question.
What are
Conscious
your
spending.
thoughts around it, Madhu?
Purchasing is like just getting want, but investment is something that you need, I feel. You know, you invest on the things that you love. You invest your time. You invest your money to get some things that you really care for, or you really wish to have in your life. Purchasing is like a regular thing that is, what do you say? Like, if you like what do you say? Just to accumulate is like, for me, I see it as purchasing, but whereas investing is like you really value that thing, so you invest in that. So that is my understanding.
So from what I hear currently, I would say, and please correct me and add on and specify, investing in something that is important to me would mean that an invest is something that I'm aware of having an importance and a worthiness, a value for me. Is that right?
You mean in the investment, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Madhavi, today's good to have you here. The question right now is, how do you differ between a purchase and an invest? What makes the difference for you? What is the difference for you between a purchase and an invest?
Hi, Anna.
Hi, Ranjani, please share.
Yeah, so purchase in my idea is something you just buy as a whim or a fancy or something. Even though sometimes you need it, sometimes you may not need it. You just buy for the sake of it, like Madhu said, for accumulation or just whims and fancies, you go and purchase things. Invest is more based on a value. If you see a value to it, you invest your time in something or you invest your money in something when you think it is going to have a long lasting value. Like time, if it is time you invest to learn a skill or something which could in turn become valuable if you can make money out of it, or if you can teach somebody which gives you peace or whatever. So when you see some value which might come back to you in some form, not always material, then that is more of an investment. Purchase is something which you may not, it's not tangible as investment. Maybe that's how I can differentiate.
So could we say from what I heard from you describing, Ranjani, that something that has a value to you would also mean that there is kind of a return on invest coming
Exactly.
from this?
That is what I meant, like return on investment. In terms, not necessarily money always, but something you get back, which is more tangible.
Yeah, whatever that return of invest might be, right? It doesn't have to be money. The return of invest can be very different. Maybe growth, connection, contribution, whatever it might be.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so an invest would be something you invest, let's say, one or more than one of your resources in, which can be time, money, energy, focus, or whatever, and you get kind of a return of invest out of it. And the purchase would be something that is purchasing for the sake of purchasing. So kind of an accumulation without having a return of invest besides this accumulation.
Yes.
Is that in a
So,
nutshell?
Yeah, kind of. It's also sometimes money going down the drain. Like you buy junk food and come, so it is really a purchase, but it adds no value to your health, but you still purchase it and come.
Indeed,
right?
indeed. So that conscious spending would be deciding between, do I spend my money on junk food or do I spend my money on healthy food, for example?
Correct.
Ah. Great. Thank you, Ranjani. Anybody else who would like to add onto the topic? Madhavi, yes, please.
Hi, Anna. Good evening, everyone.
Hi.
Yeah, it's a very interesting topic, purchase and investment. For me, purchase and investment both are for happiness. You know, when I purchase something, for example, if I go to the shopping and I buy so many clothes, to make myself happy, okay, am I looking good in this dress or not that dress? So it is, at the end of the day, it's also like accumulating so many things. But at the end of the day, if I purchase this, am I happy with it? Did I satisfy myself with that purchase? If I buy an ice cream, purchasing an ice cream or giving ice cream to all other kids, I'm purchasing that. Whereas the investment, like, is also happiness. At the end of the day, am I happy with that investment? For example, I teach a lot. I used to teach kids. And, that was investment for the kids, actually. But I never expected that it will come back. As just now the master said, that investment is something you can get back, not only in the monetary terms or in any terms, you'll get back. But my investment was in such a way that it came back in the form of love. Like, they used to come back, the kids, and they used to kiss me. So that is nothing but I'm investing them with the studies and teaching them. And at the end of the day, again, it's an happiness. So for me, purchase as well as the investment, both are to bring happiness at the end of the day. So yeah, this is what I figured it out with the purchase, because I purchased lots of clothes. My husband starts scolding me. What are you doing with this? No, I want to, before old, I want to wear everything and finish it up, because after 70, you will not be able to wear anything. You don't have so much patience to wear it. I'm crazy, but this is how I define it. I don't know if it is right or wrong, but
I mean, I guess we are not. I never understand our discussions here about being about right or wrong. It's more about being, reflecting, and gaining a common new insights, I would say. And I also really lately got the inspiration to not talk about right or wrong, but to more describe it in terms of, does this serve life or doesn't this serve life, in terms of replacing right or wrong with those aspects. But independently from that, I picked up some interesting words you just used, Madhavi. At the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, it's about satisfaction and it's about happiness.
Yes. At the end of the day, the purchase, what you're doing, any purchase, even if you buy a table for your work, or even if you buy a clothes, I just gave an example of clothes, and I also buy a lot of garden stuff, But at the end of the day, what is that? It's all about happiness. So even for the investment, what is you're getting back is, for me, the people are right that they invest on houses, they invest on so many things to get the money back, or to get happiness maybe, or to get some kind of not only monetary terms, but anything like a gifts or something they invest, or but for me, at the end of the day, it's again a happiness. Even if I invest in building the houses, what do I'm doing? I'm just living and being happy there. So at the end, it is both are for happiness. This is a short-term purchase, is a short-term happiness, and this is the long-term happiness.
So that's an interesting one, I would say. That's really an interesting one. You're saying purchase is a short-term happiness and invest is a long-term happiness. So the end of the day happiness comes from the invest. Isn't that what I heard you say?
Exactly. So for example, I give you a best example. I invested my money in building a house in India. I earned here, but I did not buy a house here, but I bought a house in India, because in India, the lands was a little bit cheaper than Germany, because Germany, they're
Yes, crazy,
quite
crazy.
expensive. Yeah.
Yes.
And also at the end of the day, I have to go back home. I thought that, okay, let me take a land and buy a house because I like the garden and all. So I'm investing the money in the land. But at the end of the day, or after constructing and living, everybody, like my mom and my brothers, the whole family, they were so happy. And I invested it to get back the double of the amount, actually, to be frank, because I took a land which cost 10,000 euros maybe, but after, if you sell it, it might get 30,000 euros maybe. That was my intention. But at the end of the day, now I get it more also, even if I sell it. But more than that, we got the happiness out of it. So at the end, I understood that this is a long term, because everybody is living there, and everybody, whoever, like guests, friends, and families, relatives, all are coming and happily enjoying. That is the long term investment. So I understood that, okay, Madhavi, purchasing for your clothes and investing in a big house, it's at the end of the day, it's a happiness.
But that's interesting when you say purchasing is short-term happiness, and then saying buying clothes is purchase. Can you bring that in context for me?
Purchasing is like you purchase anything. For example, as I said, I just used as an example of buying the clothes because I like it, shopping. It's a feminine character, I would say, going for a shopping and buying. But at the end, when I'm buying something like for the garden, getting so many flowers or saplings and everything, what am I getting there? Like I'm also getting back from the purchase, like the investment. But what is that getting back is nothing but it's an happiness for me. When I plant a rose, when I see the roses are coming up, then it's so happy. It's not that I'm not doing anything with that roses, actually, that purchase. The same with the investment also. I build the house. I'm not doing anything with that house. It's not giving me anything, but it's giving me much more than the monetary terms, I invested for getting the money, but it came back. Even today, if I sell it, I get the money for sure. But more than that, the people were living and I was living, and that happiness was more.
Exactly. And
yeah.
I would like to go back to the aspect of clothes. You say, Madhavi, you like to buy clothes, right?
Yeah.
If you open your cupboard, looking at all your clothes that are in that cupboard.
Yes, you can see a lot of clothes.
A lot of clothes. Which one give you happiness when they are still in your cupboard, and which one give you happiness while buying them?
Both.
Maybe long term,
short
term.
You cannot imagine. I have a dress which I wore it on my 21st birthday also. Can you imagine? Now I'm 45 or something.
Oh, I can.
Just imagine.
I have a lot of clothes. I have quite some clothes that are 10, 15, up to 20 years old. Yeah.
Yes. So just imagine. So it's not that I'm purchasing the one which I like it, but I'm keeping that the one which I really like to purchase it. So it's the happiness which I got while buying it, and the happiness which I got after wearing it. I mean, while wearing it and also keeping it for somebody else, that is like literally amazing. I feel sometimes just for one,
Totally.
my husband goes and say crazy. Yes. What are you doing with your clothes? Come on, just keep. This is outdated and just throw it away. It is piling up. I said, no, my daughter will wear it. Don't worry. It's like antique maybe. So, but this is crazy. I'll give others to talk. I'm sorry.
No worries. Because I still have one more question in terms of, is that the same for you with every piece of clothes you have?
Yes. Also my inners. I will not show anyone, but I'll wear it and I'll see myself, it looks so good on me, That is something crazy. I mean, also inners, I don't buy it so costly, but If I buy something, I'll wear it and I feel, look at this, it is covering my body. I mean, it's crazy actually.
Thank you, Madhavi. Sumathi, would you like to add on?
Hello, hi everybody. I've just come back. And hi, Jana. Correct me. Is the topic on conscious spending?
Exactly. And the question we started the discussion with was, what for you is the difference between an invest and a purchase?
Oh, invest and purchase.
Mhm.
Yeah, fantastic. I think purchases could be anything, isn't it? Anything from A to Z. And purchases can be something for your need. And if you are comfortable and if you feel your blood and sweat needs to yield something beyond your need, that is, say, a designer bag or a more expensive clothing or a more expensive car or a house, within your means, I repeat, within your means, I think it's fine, because at the end of the day, it's eliciting happy hormones. But your life at the same time by giving. So I don't like to be judgmental about this, because I think it's okay to purchase.
Mhm.
But I'll speak for myself. Having had COVID, I mean, not COVID, during this COVID, then realized, looked at my shoe cupboard and my coats and my clothes, and I realized just made unnecessary purchases,
Interesting.
because we don't realize circumstances was different. Then I had to go, I'll see my patients every day. I like to wear matching, shoes and handbag and blah, 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 and literally say, Miss Sinnappan, I like to see what you're wearing the next day. And it's all happy hormone. It's not showing off, but it's happy. So I always feel women with any sort of clothing or whatever, they're pretty beautiful thing. Sorry, guys, compared to a man, So I look at it positively. Era at that time, few years back, those purchases were valid. And I wasn't purchasing for others to admire. I was purchasing for myself, and I had the means. I did not cut corners to buy that. I deserve it. I bought it. I appreciate it. But at the same time, I do give away lots of things as well. I'll do a whole load of giving, and of course, in the meditation, it proved to be right, because the wisdom says that you have to keep, making it a circle, just give it and then you buy what is necessary. But I must stress those purchases, when you look during the, post-COVID and during COVID pandemic, you then realize, Sumathi, did you need to buy so many pair of black shoes? Did you need to buy so many pair of red shoes? What difference does it make? Blue or a light blue or whatever? And why do you care? Why do you need all that? But now, but then we age, it's been 5 decades, and I've got that wisdom to make that decision. Investment is something for some people, like we moved into the country much later. So obviously you don't get your pension. Your pension is peanuts. So what do? You invest, because that will give you good return, and that will be your pension. Again, it's within your math, and invest what is required. It could be a where you feel you're comfortable, you invest. So yes, investment is absolutely important. It's just equal to savings, isn't it? Because any time an immovable will, obviously depending on the location, double or triple, amount, whatever it is. Again, investment on car. If you're not one of those people, I buy my car, good, solid car, what I like, and I keep. I'm not one of those who would buy, with those, I think you have certain, I'm sorry, I don't have the terminology now, where you only buy new cars and you keep it for 3-4 years and you keep changing. So you have up-to-date model car and it's just few years. I don't believe in that, because I just believe you just buy your car outright and we keep it for years and years and years. But I'll buy a good solid car, what I like. Durability. It's purely durable. So that's my take on investment. And again, when I was younger, my mom, being a middle class lady and being a teacher, she would buy things which are at a lower cost and have varieties. But my father was a man of class and he would buy one solid thing and it's so expensive. My son is like that and my husband is like that. And there I would justify, this would come into purchases, that being a girl, we have variable events and colors and that you want to dress. And I mean, women just remember the other person. I mean, I went for a function, for a prayer, and they said, I've seen you wearing this sari. In my mind, I thought, it doesn't matter, it really doesn't matter. But it's us, isn't it? We just want to keep, pampering ourselves within our means. Again, I stress, and have variety of clothes. So yeah, so in that case, I would like to buy cheaper things and have more things to wear, as opposed to one big expensive things which is durable. But I would do for investment, like cars and houses, one solid thing so that it yields good returns.
Yeah.
Am I clear? Have I confused you? Yeah.
No, I think to me, many of the what you said is clear, and we right in the beginning also had the definition that investment is something that gives you a return on investment. That doesn't have to be money. It can also be growth, can be time, can be peace, can be maybe also security, right? So whatever it is that you get as a return of it from it, if you have a return of invest, then it's an invest. If there is a long-term return, that's what we came to. If there is a long-term return of invest, then we're within an invest. If it's, let's say, a short-term return, then it's more about accumulation, then it's more of a purchase. So what you said brought a lot of good examples that go alongside with those thoughts.
Thank you. You just shed another light to me, which that is, you're right. It's investment of time. Like I have a high flying profile and job, but I sacrificed and invested my time on my kids. So that time is money.
Definitely.
All those years, I could have earned a full-fledged income, but I chose not to, though I'm in a unique job that pays me well. I chose not to, and just depended on one breadwinner, that's my husband, because I felt that investment of my time, being the first generation
Sumathi, I'm not
in
sure
UK,
whether
not having
it's only me not hearing you anymore, or how about the others? Is it me who's frozen, or
Jana, we can
is it
hear
Sumathi?
Sumathi ji. No, we can hear Sumathi ji. Yeah.
Okay, thank
Please
you,
go ahead.
Madhu?
So Jana can't hear.
Okay, good, then it was me. Good. Sorry, I didn't get it all, Sumathi. Somehow I seem to have dropped off.
Okay, I will repeat.
Yes,
I
please.
think that investment of time, this is for my peer group here, especially I'm sure each of y'all would have had at least a basic degree and some would have multiple degrees, and you are your own profession from whichever country you have migrated from, India or wherever, and you have actually sacrificed your time, invested your time, which you can't put a price tag. And that jnana, like you say, it's not for short-term yielding, it's for long-term yielding. So I personally know where, I'm this platform would have had a high-flying job, but they chose not to send the kid to a childminder or because they felt that interpersonal relationship between the carer and the child worth $1 million. And that investment of time is great. And I can see my children now, and I'm happy. And now I'll spread my wings to work full on, because I too have certain desire. The desire is to help me to do in my job, being a unique person in this country. So that investment of time has given excellent result to my 21 and 23 years, almost 24 years old son. Yeah. So it's making timely decisions and not looking at short-term results, but long-term results. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Sumathi. Vindhya, please share with us too.
Hello, Jana. Nice
Hi.
connecting with you again. Yeah, great topic. Let me see. I think I had some thoughts. Let me see if I'm able to get them out. Yes, like you said, investment is value added, whereas purchase, what I felt was purchase is in the moment, like, now you just purchase, right? You purchase. Whereas investment has to do with either future or, and then you keep thinking of it, so past also. So it has more dimensions to it. And then the other thought is that what is an investment for you may not be for them, it may, for someone else, it may be a purchase.
Yeah, totally with you. Absolutely.
Yeah. So for example, like, a house for me, maybe I was thinking that is an investment, for me, for my kids and things like that. But for someone else, it may be they have multiple, and for them, it's just a purchase at that moment. But again, I felt with the time changing, everything, the meaning, the concepts change, because when I was growing up, one watch was enough for us. Like, it used to last for a long time. And sometimes it becomes heirloom, and that's how it was. But nowadays, it's not like that. Actually, you get it comes, and then after a year or something, it stops working. People just change their watches, and they just keep changing. So with the technology improvement or something, the idea of what we thought was investment might have changed too. And as I keep growing or experiencing more our stages of life, like Sumathi Ji was saying, she felt investment in time was more important, right? When kids are growing and all. But now I feel investment in our health is more important for me. So time was important, but it is also important. But investing in things that don't change, that are forever needed, like, our health. Because we invested in a house, but later on, my kids don't want it. They're grown, they don't want to live in that place. And, maybe you can get back return, or sometimes the value falls. You don't know the right timing and everything. So those things are not in your hand. Whereas you invest in your time and your health, I think those are something you have control on, and you should take care of those. So I feel investment is something that we can do on. We should think more and do on things that really will last and don't change with the things. So yeah, great discussion. And purchases, we talked about all those, and what we look back into our closet and how gives us an idea, right, at that time. And some things we attach, it is mostly to do with attachment. And I think that Marie Kondo method, I had done that. And that was the best thing I had done to remove. And then once even the thought of it should go away from you when you're removing it. Basically, you just say, thank you for teaching me a lesson, like, or being useful for me to that dress or to the shoe or whatever you used, because it taught you, whether it taught you you used it good, or it told you that it did not suit you, whatever it was, so there may be some other purpose for that, but not for me. So you're letting go, and that letting go is more important than just removing and discarding. So I think even our mind clutter gets clear when we clear our closet and things. So yes, I don't know where I went to, but yeah, I wanted to just bring out that investment and purchase concept. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You added a lot of or really good thoughts concerning the fact that an invest has a value that doesn't change in that sense very much over time. At least not as long as far as you can see it, right? Maybe you never know. It might change at a certain time, but what you think of when you invest is this is going to be of long-term value, right? Even if we think about investing with money, you do it with the intention of a long-term value. It might turn out differently, might be, but you do it with this intention of a long-term value. So
and you hang on to it for a long time too, right? You're thinking about it. Whereas purchases, you just go, you purchase, maybe grocery, maybe whatever. It is that moment that you're purchasing. It may become an investment later on, but investment is something you hang on to, or you work on it, or whatever. That's why I was saying it's more in the future or past, whereas purchase is like just that point. At that point. Yeah.
Where I would say the decision for the right groceries is a long-term invest in terms of health once again, right? So
yes, definitely. Yeah.
Great. We have another comment on the chat saying investment in health should be infinite since it is circuit for our well-being. Yes, definitely. So everything that indeed buys in on our health is definitely an invest. I would also say it that way. So I tried to sum up what we so far said, or is there anyone else who would like to add? Because I can hear a microphone open. No? Okay. So let me sum up so far. What I found or what I heard us saying is an invest is a long-term yielding and a return where the value doesn't change, at least also at the moment we do the invest. We don't expect the value to change over time. And it is about if you want to say, the satisfaction and the happiness at the end of the day. That's what invest is about. What I, for myself, sum up concerning purchase is it's a short-term return, more leading to accumulation, often going along with attachment, and the short-term happiness, not the end of the day happiness. And there was from Sumathi, there was the beautiful sentence that a purchase is something beyond your needs, within your means, with this effect in the moment. This is what I so far summed up, and also that investment and purchase can be different for everyone. I now would like to ask you, when we now buy something, when we now spend money, what can we ask ourselves to decide whether it is purchase or an invest? Or which questions help us to decide to do a conscious spending, whether into an invest or into a purchase? Sumathi brings in the question, is it needed? Is it necessary? That's what we can ask ourselves. What else?
Will that bring happiness to me at the end of the day?
At the end of the day, will this bring happiness to me now, or will this add on to my happiness? Like,
yeah,
beautiful.
when I buy something, even when we purchase something, am I happy with that purchase? If it can be a house also. People have, if they're buying 10 houses, maybe that time buying a house is a purchase, just a purchase, not an investment anymore. Like the same way for our accessories for us, especially for all the ladies. And that moment, even if you can just feel that, these earrings are so nice on me. And if it gives the happiness, that's enough, at least for me, I feel. So I don't ask the questions more about myself. How do I need this? Because I have already got 100 pairs of earrings. It's just a small purchase, which brings you so happiness now at the moment. And we are not going to take anything in our lives. We have to leave everything here.
Yeah, that's very true. I got another angle on what you said, because you started with the question, at the end of the day, will this bring happiness to me? But for making this conscious choice, the conscious question could be, what kind of happiness does this bring to me? A short-term happiness or an end-of-the-day happiness? Then it's still a conscious decision, right? It's still, you can also consciously decide for a purchase. As also Sumathi also said, there's nothing to say against having something beyond our needs, as long as it is within our means, which is a purchase. But then this question would be, which kind of happiness does this bring to me? Short-term happiness or the end of the day happiness, the long-term happiness? Which other questions? Can I buy instead of the current purchase? What can I buy instead of the current purchase? Beautiful. If it is a purchase, what can I buy instead of this current purchase? Another question, Sumathi, wonderful. Also saying, can we make do without it? And how much do I save? Can we make it, do it? And not necessarily, in my opinion or in my perspective, for forbidding the purchase, but for clearing if it is the purchase that I want to make, with these questions as well, because there is always a good necessity for purchase too. And another question, so we are not contented, but need more material to make us happiness. How long does this happiness last? Yeah, good question. How long it lasts? Probably or not probably, I think we worked out that the long-term happiness coming from invests is longer than the one from the purchases. Nevertheless, the question of, is the purchase still something something attractive, something positive, is something that we, I guess, can decide for ourselves individually again. And also, as we also heard already from Madhavi, that something that for some people might be a purchase in terms of buying a lot of clothes can be a long-term happiness for somebody as well. So the aspect here, again, is what Vindhya also said, that purchase and investment can differ for different people, of course. Yeah.
And evaluating the investment again, I mean, it's long term, right? So is it still valid, right? Sometimes we think we are investing, but our needs may change or something may change. Is it still worth investing? You need to check. I think that. And the other thing is not get obsessed by it, maybe, because people invest in gold. I've seen many people, they say, oh, it's for my children's future or their marriage or something. But then they keep getting
Unfortunately, right now, the connection was interrupted. What a pity. In between, Madhavi, please share with us.
Yeah, as you said, that the short-term purchase can lead to a long-term investment for buying. For example, if I buy a rose plant, which I have already 10 to 12 roses, I don't need to buy another one. But when I saw the color of that rose, maybe when I went to the garden or went to the Flora Park, then I see that, oh my goodness, this color is so beautiful. Let me buy it. So it's like kind of, it's not like I'm not able to hold myself, but I feel, why not? It's just a 2 euros or 3 euros. Let's take it. Okay, I took it and I planted in the garden. That was a temporary happiness I had because I saw that color and I was tempted. But every season it pops up with so many flowers again and again. Then it gives me so much happiness. That means, and one fine day, it will become like a bush. And just imagine how much it is giving me like an investment. So the short-term purchase also can become a long-term investment, which leads to an happiness at the end. For me, at the end, it's an happiness, as you said. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Yes, sure. Vindhya, you're back. You kind of dropped off while you were...
Yeah, sorry.
No worries.
Got another call in it. But I think I said what I meant to say. Sometimes people lose sight of, they say that they're investing, but for their children or something, but then they get obsessed with it and keep on buying. So I think you need to have a clear idea of what you're investing, not just get carried away with it.
Yeah, I think that's a really good question that comes up there from what you said. The question of, is it an invest, or maybe even though it doesn't matter whether it's an invest or a purchase, maybe the question of, am I carried away here, is an interesting one in both aspects.
Yes, and having a clarity of it, right? And maybe you're just telling yourself that it's investment, but you're not sure about it or something. Like. And would it help to see also, like how many people is it benefiting? I don't know. The more, the better, right? But I don't know.
Yes. How many people is it benefiting? Wonderful. So I have plenty of questions here that I wrote down concerning conscious spending. Is it needed? Is it necessary? At the end of the day, will this bring happiness to me? Which kind of happiness does it bring to me? Short-term happiness or long-term happiness? What can I buy instead of this current purchase? Can we make it, do it without this spending? And how much do I save? When I look into the future, is this spending still worth it in the future? What difference will it make in my life in 1 year, in 5 years, or in 10 years' time? Am I carried away here from this purchase, from this invest? And how many people is it benefiting? A beautiful, beautiful bunch of questions that we can ask ourselves to make conscious spendings. Sumathi, your hand is still up, or maybe up again. Would you like to say something additionally?
Yes, please, Jana. Thank you. This is to elaborate, not a question, elaborate what Master Vindhya has mentioned, which is so appropriate for this group. Being origin of Indian background, I mean, I studied in India and I realized how much people just keep investing and investing and investing into gold, especially if they have a daughter. I couldn't find, yes, I mean, for everybody else, this is a normal cup of tea, this knowledge, because they hail from India. So because I was from Malaysia, I wouldn't give much priority to gold because we don't care. My mom wouldn't care. My mom would tell my sister-in-law's parents, we don't care what she walks into, just a sari is fine. We don't expect anything. That's how we are. But again, investment in a car, which is a basic necessity for your transportation, and a house because you save on your rental long term and you have an asset, those were mandatory. So this investment, like Master Vindhya said, it also, I would say, very cultural, where you are raised and what is a priority. But again, having said that, having Indian origin, when a wedding takes place, we tend to put gold. That's when I think small gradual investment on purchases of gold decades back would be so much of a worth today. You and I know it. The price of gold is so much. Even if you think you did not like or would not like or do not like the design, you can still give that gold and barter it with whatever you want, and you have more value. And in that context, I did tell my husband, right, I'm not crazy about gold, but we can invest certain necessary things. But being a man, he doesn't see any results, any benefit in that. He said, no, when we want gold, we can just go and buy. But that's not it. The gold price has shot so much. And when there's a wedding, which we would like to reward or award our children or in-laws within our means. I keep stressing within our means. Then you realize when you had the money, you didn't invest on the gold. It was just sitting there. So these are the things that you need to think about, because there are certain commodities which will always be rising. So I just wanted to highlight that. And when I buy gold, I always think about my daughter. To be honest, I know this master brought this up. So I realize, it's something that my daughter can wear. So, and you kill two birds in one stone. Yes, again, it echoes what Master Vindhya said, how many people it benefits. And it does benefit in the long term. Thank you, Jana.
A pleasure. Thank you all for adding up so valuable to this topic. I think there came a lot of insights together that really support on consciousness in our way of buying and spending. And spending, I would even more say, because it's not only about money, but about spending resources of a lifetime here, which is also, again, time, energy, love, dedication, devotion, passion, purpose. So thank you all for adding up and for making this a really beautiful session. Any further things you would like to add onto the topic? Because if not, I just would like to guide us into a very, very short meditation for today, as time flew by and we only have, I can only take the session until 7. I need to switch then. Scientifically, purchases elicit happy hormones, Sumathi, yes, which can be a really problematic issue because these are also the hormones that are set free, it's called dopamine, that are also set free by drugs. So be careful. This does not necessarily say that setting free these hormones is always necessary what is healthy in the long term also. And there are a lot of possibilities to set free dopamines besides the purchases. But it's true. It's true. They make us physically happy in the moment. Dear all, let's go into a very short meditation at the end of this session. Close your eyes, lock your hands, lock your fingers, let them rest in your chest. And this way, find in a comfortable position for you now. And take a moment to fully bring your awareness to the coming and going of your breath around your nostrils. Fully get aware of how your in-breath flows in through your nostrils and your out-breath flows out of them again. It all just comes and goes. for a last moment in total silence. And now, dear friends, come back to the presence, the room that you're in, the life that you live. Connect with your hands and your fingers and move them. Connect with your feet and your toes and move them. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Let your breath come back to its normal breathing pattern. And whenever it feels right, gently open your eyes. Thank you for this short meditation in the end. Feel free to share or to stay silent, whatever feels best.
Thank you once again, Jana. It was really a wonderful, wonderful short meditation and as well as beautiful discussions. Thank you so much.
Thanks to all of the masters that added on. It was very inspiring.
That's right.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Jana.
See you
Thank you,
next week.
everyone.
Bye.
See you. Bye-bye.
Thank you everyone. Bye.
Thank you all.